The rhetoric that we're hearing from Vladimir Putin is very alarming. He's talking a lot more about nuclear weapons, and it seems more likely than ever he might consider doing that. But I wonder, how likely do you think that is? Do you think he really would do it?
We don't know. I think it's unlikely, but possible. And I think the more that the Ukrainians continue to seize ground in the east and in the south, I think the more desperate Putin becomes. I mean, look, this has been a strategic failure in multiple ways since it began in February. And now, finally, the Russian people are speaking up. You have protests going on throughout the country. Hundreds of thousands of Russians have left Russia to avoid this draft. I think Putin continues to paint himself in a corner without any, and limiting his options to get out of this mess he's created.
And obviously, we're trying to get a sense of, well, what would that look like if he did that? We were speaking to nuclear expert Joe Cirincione yesterday, who wrote this great piece in the Washington Post about what Putin's options would be. And the most likely of the four scenarios would be, in his opinion, a low-yield nuclear weapon that would be used on a Ukrainian military target. We're talking about something about in the range of 10 kilotons of TNT, the equivalent of, just for reference, Hiroshima was 15 kilotons. So this is pretty big. Do you think that's correct? Is that, you think, his most likely avenue?
I think anywhere between 1 to 10 kilotons. You're right, Hiroshima was 15 kilotons, killed 70,000 people, destroyed 5 square miles of territory around the city. And I think the way he would deliver it, most likely in these cases, is through a gravity bomb delivered by an aircraft or some type of Iskander cruise missile. I would argue the thing for the administration to do is to bring the allies together now, talk about back-channeling to Moscow, but publicly say, look, if we see some type of strategic indication that you're pulling tactical nuclear weapons out of the storage areas, we're going to put an air cap up above Ukraine, and we're going to shoot down anything that comes toward Ukraine that might be carrying a nuclear weapon. There are things like that we could do to prevent this, to kind of calm this down and keep Putin contained.